Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today we're here to talk about the Ace family. I had some thoughts about a recent video that they uploaded, so if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I'm back from my little break. I took a couple days off and it felt really good to just have a couple days off. And obviously I was still working my full-time job, but as far as taking a break from content and uploading, it felt really good. I don't typically take breaks, but once in a while it's needed. So thank you guys for being patient. A couple of you guys messaged me just to see what was going on, and I really appreciate that so much. But we are back in full swing and I'm happy to be back. So let's talk about the Ace family. So if you're not familiar with the Ace family, they have 18.9 million subscribers on YouTube. They are a massive family channel. And you know how my last video I talked about Brianna Kay, and I said, she does vlog her family, but I don't really consider her a family vlogger because a lot of her content is made on her own. It doesn't necessarily involve her kids all the time. The Ace family is the exact opposite of what Brianna Kay is, in my opinion. Ace family, the royalty family, the LeBrants, these are families that literally would have no content. 8 passengers, they would have no content if it wasn't for showing their children. Their channels were built off of their kids. It wasn't a channel that was successful and decided to insert their kids into their channel. These are people that literally are popular because they've shown their kids for however long, and they've become extremely wealthy. We're talking about a family that built a compound, got it foreclosed, and now they're renting another luxury house somewhere in LA. You have to keep up with this influencer appearance. I don't know what their finances look like. Obviously, none of us do. But if I had to take a guess, they are most likely definitely living way above their means. Their debt to income ratio is probably a complete disaster. The personal spending that is done every single month, oh my God. I mean, I would hate to be this family's accountant at the end of the year, just saying. But they they still get at least 1 million views on every single video, and that in AdSense world is a good payday. And they're uploading in between 4 to maybe 6 videos a month, which is not a whole lot, but when every single video gets over 1 million views, it's sustainable for sure. I always think it's kind of funny when full-time YouTubers upload 4 or 5 videos a month. I've talked about this with Jaclyn Hill before, how it's like, you're a full-time YouTuber. I understand a lot of them have brands on the side and have households to take care of, kids to take care of, but your full-time job is to create content, and you're not able to get more than 4 or 5 videos a month out. That to me is a little embarrassing, but what do I know? I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I don't know all the secrets. So just to throw it out there, I think it's a little bit ridiculous when you work so hard to get to the point where you can do YouTube full-time, and then it's given to you and you disappear off the map and hardly upload to your channel. I always find that really interesting. Or you also have the classic upload when you have a launch or a new piece of merch coming out and you need your subscribers to buy it. I know Shane Dawson has done this. A lot of other YouTubers have. Miss Jaclyn Hill, again, she's a repeat offender when it comes to not giving content until it's time to announce a new merch drop, a new collab, a new product coming out from their own brand. Out of my own curiosity, I did look on Social Blade. I want to say something about Social Blade before I get into the rest of the video. Social Blade is typically on the very low end. If you look up revenue and what the estimated earnings are, based on what I have seen with my own journey on YouTube, Social Blade is typically on the low end, But if you go over there, you'll see that they have lost 100,000 subscribers in the last 30 days, but their monthly earnings are still estimated to be around $66,000. And like I said, that's on the low end. And annually, we're looking at about 800,000. They are most likely making a lot more than that. But in terms of them losing subscribers, I do find that very interesting, coming out of the house foreclosure and them just continuing to push this flex culture and, you know, we're wealthy influencers, nobody can bring us down kind of vibe. I do think it's interesting that they've lost that many subs. So what I want to talk about is them really relying again on clickbait in order to drum up views and attention. This is something a lot of really big YouTubers rely on. In terms of, you know, if you want to say I'm offended, when it comes to feeling offended off of a YouTuber's content, I don't really look at clickbait as a deal breaker. I'm not going to look at it that seriously unless it has to do with lying about a tragedy or someone being sick. There's some kind of clickbait that can be really innocent. But if we're talking about something that is tragic or like a loss of life or a disease, don't clickbait that. It's gross. They uploaded a month ago and said, we have to let our dog go. And all that they did, I already watched the video. They sent him to a puppy training camp, which is a great idea. If you feel like your dog needs to go to a training camp, then by all means. But obviously that's clickbait because they're not letting their dog go. They're taking him for a short period of time to a puppy boot camp. So whatever. Then they also uploaded their new house tour. That did get 3.6 million views. Obviously, people are very interested in home tours, especially for the Ace family, considering this foreclosure that they lost the house and they came out and tried to blame everyone else but themselves. So people were obviously going to be interested in that. Now, when you come to 5 days ago, they decided to do what I cannot stand when family vloggers do this. You know, aside from a few other things, one of the worst things to me is to exploit your children being injured or being hurt or in pain or going through a really difficult time in order for you to get clicks and views on your YouTube video. This is tacky. It's distasteful. Obviously, the child didn't have any idea that this was going to be used for content. Their youngest child is, I think he's 1 year old. He's very young, very cute. I'm not going to play the video because it does show him getting hurt, and that would kind of be counterproductive for me to show that. But you guys get the idea. He is playing in the backyard and trips, and it's very simple. This happens to kids all the time. But the way that he fell, he ended up hurting his mouth. And the thumbnail, I will describe it because, again, I don't want to show it. But the thumbnail is his cute little face with blood all around his mouth. And it shows on the other side of the thumbnail him tripping, and then a big red arrow, a hospital, and an SOS emoji. And obviously this is going to get a lot of attention. People don't like to see children being hurt, but because their fan base is children, they are going to be interested in anything to do with anything, you know. Oh, a kid gets hurt, let me watch and see what goes on. Like, most adults are not going to be interested in this kind of content, but when your fan base is young kids that don't know any better, they are going to click on anything that looks different or interesting or sad. Like, their audience is kids. So the video has 1.5 million views in 5 days. But in terms of showing this, instead of picking up a camera, the first thing is for both of the parents to be present. You know, I say this all the time. I don't know how your parents can comfort you when they're worried about capturing the vlog footage? Like, how are we going to make sure that we get this on camera? You cannot be fully present in a moment, this is just my opinion, with a camera being held in one of your hands. Like, in order to fully focus and fully digest the moment and be present for your kid, your significant other, your family member, your friend, whomever it is, I just don't believe in capturing footage and being fully present as something that can coexist equally. And maybe other people look at it differently, but I always look at these family vloggers and they will literally set up a camera and just to capture like a hug. Like, I couldn't imagine me being myself wanting to show my audience so much that we care for each other that I'm gonna set up my camera, make sure that it's recording, and then hug my friend or, you know, whomever it is. That to me is just so cringeworthy and fake. I don't know. Maybe it's something they look at differently because of how long some of these families have been on YouTube. Maybe they're used to it. But I just don't understand how those two can really coexist. But going back to them exploiting his injury, and just FYI, he was totally fine. But when it comes to utilizing injuries, this is something that the Ace family has definitely done before, as well as tons of other family vloggers. 3 months ago, they uploaded "Our new dog bit our baby, scary moment." And yeah, of course that is scary, but it's never what they make it out to be. It is all clickbait, and it's all just, they will take something that is like a really small little nip where skin wasn't even broken, and it will be this like dramatic thumbnail. And I get it, wanting views and wanting exposure and the income is what full-time YouTubers are after, but at what cost? That's what I always go back to, is at what cost? Like, is it really worth destroying your child's privacy, their you know, disrupting undivided attention from their parents? Is it worth the short-term income that can be generated by getting views on YouTube? Maybe for some people it is worth it, but I could never. I don't know. But the Ace family really hasn't been uploading like they really care, which I find very interesting. So I don't know what's going on with a lot of these family vloggers. I so often think that there are a lot of things going on behind the scenes that obviously the audience isn't always entitled to know about. But when you build up this really successful platform and then you hardly upload and it just turns into a money-making scheme, it's disappointing for the audience that has been there with you for years. I couldn't imagine, really, like I've thought about this before just because I think of a million different scenarios. That's just the way that my brain works. And right now, let's just say that somehow I don't think that I will ever make it past, I will be very happy if I make it past 20,000 subscribers. I'm happy now, but my channel, you know, I've said I'm never here to chase subscribers. Like, that's not the only thing that I'm interested in. I know that some people are, but I'm interested in having a community that I can talk to and they'll talk back to me, and I can talk about whatever it is that I feel like talking about. People will either view it or they'll skip to the next video or watch an older video. I'm just okay with that being my existence. I just want to have a really solid community. But I have thought about, let's just say that 4 years from now, I had a ton of subscribers and I was in a position where I had quit my day job, which I don't think I will ever do. Honest to God, I will always keep at least a part-time job because I don't, that's just not what I'm here for personally. To make it all the way to that point and then drop off and not upload content, I find it to be such a fraudulent way to go about your time online, and that's just my opinion. But you did all this to get to the point where you can, you know, be a full-time YouTuber, and now you're not uploading. I don't know. It just seems like a big disappointment. What I really can't stand too is the Ace family has done this as well, but a lot of family vloggers will literally, when they're expecting, this is something I see all the time, let me know if you guys agree with this or not, but when they're expecting, they will use a lot of really scary clickbait in order to make the audience think that something might be wrong with the baby or something is going sideways with the pregnancy, and nothing is ever wrong. It might be an unexpected doctor's visit or something like that, but they will get that thumbnail and use clickbait and all the sad emojis on the thumbnail in order to get views. And that, to me, number one, I believe in karma big time. So I would never do that because I would be so scared that it would come back and somehow repay me in a really serious way. But secondly, if you're, you know, doing that, what does that say to anyone that comes across this video who really has had problems with their own pregnancies, or having infant health issues, or issues with labor and delivery, all of these kinds of things? It's like they obviously don't care because they're doing it for clicks and views. But one thing that I would really like to see change in the next, you know, I don't want to put a time limit on it. One thing that I would really like to see change is, let's stop making stupid, money-hungry people famous on YouTube. When it comes down to it, I know that sometimes the crazy thumbnails can be interesting and attention-grabbing, but when it comes to continuing to fall for it, and these kids subscribing to these stupid YouTubers who just let the videos play while they're, you know, making the YouTubers richer, I would like to see YouTube go back to that period when things were more, you know, there was just more integrity on the platform. People weren't so willing to risk it all for a YouTube video. There's a reason why these influencers has such a bad name, and there's obviously a whole list of reasons, but when you think of influencer and then you think of someone like Austin and Catherine, it's no wonder why the name or the title influencer has such a yuck feeling around it. I don't know. Tell me if you guys agree, as always. But I wanted to share this with you guys. I don't think anyone watching this channel will agree with exploiting your child being injured, because it's just super distasteful. But let me know down below. Do you disagree? Do you feel like there is a certain circumstance that something could be put online as maybe if it was like educational? I don't know. I think that is a little tricky too. But obviously, if you guys disagree, please tell me. But let me know a situation that you would say, okay, that makes sense. I know why they are putting this onto their channel. I'm very curious. So for now, if you like the video, leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.